want to get to Judy Trinh, who is outside Rideau Cottage, where the Prime Minister just spoke. Justin Trudeau, it's a cold day. We know that before the Prime Minister came out, there are pages that flew off the lectern, so obviously a windy day as well. Thank you for braving the elements today, Judy. Just your reaction on the Prime Minister's announcement minutes ago.
Omar, I don't know if it came across on television, but there were moments when I felt the Prime Minister looked like he was getting emotional, especially in the beginning when he said he had that conversation with his kids last night and told them that he was resigning. In terms of just some background details, he did have a teleprompter set up. Perhaps he knew that it would be an emotional moment for him. He did not, his statement was not off the cuff. He answered questions. He took 8 questions from reporters, so more than anticipated. His news conference lasted approximately about 25 minutes. So, Omar, as we go through this, one of the questions that was left remaining was, why did it take so long? One of the reporters yelled out that question as he was finishing up, and he walked into his home without answering it. But perhaps we should point out that in terms of his conversations with reporters and with caucus members, up until today, he has always contended that he was the best placed person, best placed Liberal parliamentarian to take on Pierre Poilievre in what he felt was a crucial election determining the future of Canada. And up until today, he was always going to be the standard bearer. But it was clear that no one in his caucus, or very few in his caucus, felt that way about him, and he did not have that support. Omar, we should point out that about a year ago, when he announced his separation from his wife, this question was posed to him, whether or not he was going to step away for family matters. Even at that juncture in his life, that very important personal moment, he did not step away. But it was this moment, when he no longer had the support of his caucus, that he decided that he had to resign. I want to walk you through some of the next steps. There's going to be a meeting with the National Caucus later this afternoon. They are going to want to know exactly what the rules will be for becoming the next leader. What we do know is that according to the Liberal Constitution, they have to select a leader within 90 days. So presumably by March 24th, there will be a new leader in place. They have to set a budget as to how much expenses each candidate will have. And the other question that leaves unanswered is, for example, what happens if a cabinet member wants to run for the leadership? Will that individual be forced to step away, to run? And therefore, will that take away from the very important responsibilities the cabinet minister has, especially when it comes to the fact that we have to deal with this impending threat of Trump tariffs, Omar?
Judy, I want to ask you about something that stood out for me, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, but just quickly, because I know you have to go. He did not mention, at least in the opening, I think it came up in the questions, Donald Trump or the tariffs on January 20th.
He did not mention, he talked specifically, he talked more broadly about that it was a crucial moment, that he no longer, he couldn't fight these internal battles as well as being the standard bearer towards the next election. So it's clear that he believes that perhaps he's giving some stability. But the question is, will the Trump negotiating team want to speak to someone who is basically a lame duck prime minister at this point? And also bears the question of, will he want to negotiate with a party that could lose in the upcoming election, which could be called once the House resumes, once prorogation is off, and all parties will decide to vote no confidence. Omar.
All right, Judy Trinh outside Rideau Cottage. Thank you so much, Judy.